Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and guest. A warm welcome to meeting number 255 of the Gabby Toastmaster Club. I am Toastmaster Prasang Mani, your Sergeant at Arm for today's meeting. As Sergeant at Arm, it is my duty to highlight some key points for the meeting. First, the meeting is blocked for 2 hours, urging you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefit. Second, your video should be on, your audio should be off. Only unmute yourself when you need to speak or call to speak. Regarding the topic of politics, sex, and religion, even though Toastmaster International does not put any restriction, at the Gabby Toastmaster Club, we request all the role takers and speaker to be mindful while speaking on these topics and abstain from expressing any controversial views. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. With this, let me now hand over the today meeting to our today presiding officer, DTM Nancy Goyal. Before I do so, let me introduce DTM Nancy Goyal. Nancy Goyal is director and partner at Practive Consulting and Training LLP, a vibrant consulting and training service company which serves MSMEs, non-profits, and corporate across India. She has more than 10 years of entrepreneurial experience and a strong expertise in business intelligence and data analytics. Nancy is the chartered president of the Gabi and currently serving as the VP Education of the Gabbys. Now let's welcome our today presiding officer, DTM Nancy Goyal, with a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prasang. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Toastmasters, that's our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Prasang, for you. Can we have a round of applause for him, please? Well, with this spirit on, it's time to move on with our meeting. As presiding officer of meeting number 255 of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, I welcome you all to this meeting. I welcome all our guests. I acknowledge presence of our old friends, not old by age, but old by the kind of support we have received from them. I see our general evaluated distinguished Toastmaster Umar Farooq. Um, DTM Umar, a quick introduction, maybe one reflection on how we met, how you came across Gabby's in the very first place.
It's a very good question. During the times of COVID, I think 2021, or I was looking for a target speaker, and I've put it on a WhatsApp group, and Saurav separately messaged me. I'm interested in being a test speaker in your area contest. It was, I believe. And from that on, we have been like in coordination, and he's been a good friend of mine. So I have attended few meetings in past as well as a table topics evaluator, table topic master as well. And it's good to see the great energy and the liveliness and the passion that the Gabby's members bring on, and the nuances that they have. So wonderful to be part of this meeting again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Saurav, DTM Umar, for talking about DTM Saurav. So this relation goes back 4 to 5 years. Your formal introduction would be there during the course of the meeting. So I'll leave that to our Toastmaster of the day. Now coming to our next friend, come support, DTM Ramakumar Balakrishnan. He's also here. DTM Ramakumar, a quick reflection on how you came across Gabby's in the very first place.
Could you say that again?
A quick reflection on how you came across Gabby's in the very first place.
Actually, it's a long story, but to cut it short, somehow I met this gentleman who wanted to start a new club during COVID-19, and he came over to help a few times, and then we had a wonderful time organizing that event on the 21st of August 2021, which was a 12-hour table topic marathon, and our friendship grew. So whenever he needs help, I'm always there for him. And likewise, when I need help, he's always there for me. And of course, the person I'm talking about is the today's Tia Modi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this quick reflection. I think that brings back a lot of memories for all of us here, the ones who are with Gabby's from 2021, and I being one of them. Thank you so much. I see Sahana. Sahana is another role taker, but she is another support of the Gabby's. Sahana, your first reflection. When did you came across Gabby's in the very first place? You're speaking on
Am
mute.
I
Yeah,
audible? Yes.
you're not
Hello.
audible yet.
Am I not
Y-
audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
All right. All right. Yes. Good morning, everyone. I am part of Dell Sukti Toastmasters Club. And I think I heard of Gabby's for the first time when I was part of, I think last February, I was part of the uh, division contest and I came across Saurav and Nancy over there, met them. And that's how I came to know about the Gabbies. And since then, I think because Rajesh is also part of Gabby since long time associated with this, I got introduced to this by him. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sahana. Well, Sahana will be introduced by our Toastmaster of the day later. But yes, Sahana, we met during the division contest, and uh, this association with Sukti is again going on from COVID days itself, when the members of Gabby's used to support Del Sukti meetings, and we had members of Del Sukti coming to Gabby's meetings very often. So thank you so much for a quick reflection. I see a couple of guests here. I'll have a quick introduction of our guest. I see Viresh. Viresh, would you like to quickly introduce yourself, where you are from, how you got to know about us?
Yeah, sure. I'm Videsh. I'm currently shuttling between a couple of cities in Karnataka, so mostly joining online. I've been looking to improve my public speaking, so I was kind of doing some research online and thought like Toastmasters could be a good fit. So I'm here to observe and see if it kind of fits my goals.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you towards the end of the meeting for a quick feedback on how it goes, how it went, and accordingly, you can let us know your thoughts on whether we fulfilled your aspirations from this meeting or not. I see DTM Harish.
Hi, good morning. This is DTM Harish joining from Dubai. I have been a regularly irregular member of this wonderful Gabbys. I keep on popping every now and then because few of my uh, lovely Toastmasters like Saurav Datta is here, and I love whenever he's performing any role or doing anything. I love to sit through and listen to him. So that makes me come back again and again. Thank you.
Well, I thank you so much for a quick introduction. You are more like a family now. I see very often. I'm seeing you in our meetings quite often. So looking forward to the same in our upcoming meetings as well. Welcome again. I see Bhagya. Bhagya, a quick introduction, where you are from and how you got to know about Gabby's. Okay, I'll come back to Bhagya in a little bit. It's time to talk about what's happening right here. So I'm coming here with a lot of announcements as presiding officer. Well, in a general club, what is expected is that we will be having some guests and we will be running behind those guests to take membership with the club. Well, that's not the Gabby's culture. We let our guests experience these meetings as many times as they want. They come here, they experience, they get to understand the culture, and then they take up membership with us. Having said that, this month we have got 4 new members joining the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. I would quickly read out their names, and one of them I see already here. So those 4 members are, drum rolls please. We have Toastmaster Aisha Siddika. I don't see her in the meeting. Welcome to you in your absentia. I see Chaitra, Toastmaster Chaitra. Welcome to the Gabbys. Toastmaster Sumit Sukumaran. He's not here. Welcome, Toastmaster Sumit, to the Gabbys. And last but not the least, Toastmaster Swami Raghavendra, the most recent ad just this week. Thank you so much for joining the Gabbys. Having talked about these new members, I've got this exciting new member taking up the newest role in the Gabbys that's been introduced. Well, one role that keeps us all light and keeps the mood of the meeting light is the joke master role. We start our meetings on a lighter note. But does that mean that the joke master has to make you laugh? Well, not at Gabby's. We end up not laughing many a times. But if you make us laugh, that's a job well done. So, taking this challenge on, our newest member playing the role of joke master today, Toastmaster Chaitra Lakshmi Narayan. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Chaitra here.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, ever feel your dog's mind is sneaking engine reviving around 2 a.m.? Picture a Labrador. My Newton. Woo, woo! Night 1. Bark alarm explodes like a fire drill in a dreamland. I bolted up, rubbing my eyes. Is that Newton? What if it's a intruder? It's a ghost. He circles fanatically, eyes pleading. I did not understand, Newton. What do you want, man? It's 2 a.m. Go to bed, man, buddy, please. Night 2. Tail wags like a helicopter. Paw stabs my leg. Oh, 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 oh. Just wanna cuddle. Come, my baby doll, come. Night 3. Grand drag final. He holds my hand straight into the kitchen to get a Royal Canin packet, staring like a food oracle. Grabs it from my hands, start eating it. He holds my hand straight there and hugs me, cuddles me, kisses me, and all of that. Who needs words when whoa, masters like the midnight menu? Your dog's mind mechanics meet any app. Bark, nudge, drag to the dinner delight. Just keep this in mind. This is all that they need. Whoa, to express every little bit. And still, because you're a dog lover, you should know what they want. Food, end of it. Thank you.
Well, that's quite a story about your dog. I think you reminded me of my cats, and only thing I hear everywhere is meow, 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 some wow, wow, wow. These kind of noises just wake me up in the middle of the night. So I can totally relate to your dog story. Thank you so much for such a wonderful attempt here, Toastmaster Chaitra, for on the joke master role. That's really difficult one to make us all laugh, and the way you have attempted it, quite a job well done. It's time to make another announcement right now. Well, since I've been part of Gabbys, it's been 5 years. Since Gabbys came to light, it's been 5 years. And in the last 5 years, we have seen 5 district contests, except for the first one, where we were extremely new, just halfway through the year. Rest all 4 contests, Gabbys has produced district participants and brought trophies back home. And what's beautiful about the Gabbys is every time we have taken up the stage, every time it's a different person. It's not the same person going over and over again and bringing the trophies back home. It means that Gabby's is bringing out champions one after the other. As we are sitting here today, one of our TT champion is contesting against all other division participants tomorrow at District Contest Jamboree District 92 at Table Topics Contest. We congratulate Toastmaster Smruti Mohanty for reaching out district finals yet again. And we are hoping and rooting with all our energy and vigor to bring the trophy back home. Congratulations, Toastmaster Smruti, and we are rooting for you to bring the trophy back home. Having talked about the contests here, our evaluation and speech contest, the international speech contest are coming up and the dates are already been announced. We have our evaluation speech contest on 7th of Feb 2026 and international speech contest for the club level at on 14th Feb 2026. For you to participate, please ensure for the international speech contest your level 2 of any path is completed and filed and approved on Basecamp. For evaluation contest, there's no such criteria. You just need to be a member in good standing. Ensure the member of Gabbys and the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club. This is your opportunity to showcase what you have learned so far. Participate now. The links are there in our regular groups. Now it's time to talk about the mind mechanics. We just had a small issue with sound mechanics as everyone was joining the meeting, but one sound mechanics can toss the entire meeting. Just think about the mind mechanics, how our mind tosses our life every day. I don't know about you, but I pretty much feel my life tossed around almost every other second. To talk more sense about mind mechanics, we have got our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day today is someone who has been with the Gabbys since his chartered days, since the inception of the Gabbys, since the idea of the inception of the Gabbys came into light. Someone who has been leading large corporates, someone who is my partner in crime at Practive, someone who is double distinguished Toastmaster and achieved many accolades over these 5 years. Please put your hands together for our district evaluation runner-up for the past year, distinguished Toastmaster Saurav Datta.
Thank you so much, TTM Nancy Goel. Today, I am going to spill some beans. That is the intent of today's theme. So I've been a marketer for almost 25 years now, I think, almost 22, 23 years in various roles on various aspects of marketing. So today I'm going to spill some beans. But before that, let me play a quick game. Maybe I played this with you before. If I played this with you, please bear with me. If we are playing it for the first time, then you'll love this. Before that, let me ask you a question. How many of you feel that you have a bias? Okay. So only three of us, four of us, five of us. Okay. 50% of us feel that we have a bias. So let's play a quick game. Okay. So imagine I'll give you three scenarios. I know Nancy and a couple of you have played this game before, but it's okay. You can kind of abstain, but others can play still. So imagine three scenarios. Okay. The first scenario is this: you are there at a dinner date with your partner. You're sitting across the table, lovely candlelight dinner, soothing music. You're looking at each other. Right across the table, there is another couple. They are also having a nice time. And your partner tells you, wow, what a lovely couple. Done with the imagining? Give me a thumbs up. Great. Okay. Next, let's move to the second one. You're trying to board a plane, right? And you're late. You're getting into the plane at the very last minute. And as you enter the plane, the pilot is standing there. And the pilot says, you're holding on to the entire flight. Please rush. Grab a seat. Done imagining? Second seat? Lovely. Now you get down from that plane. You're near the conveyor belt where the luggage belt is coming, where the baggage is coming. And you see your red bag there. You pick it up and you start walking. And then someone chases you and says, hey, 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 hold on. That's my bag. That's my bag. And you check the label and see, that's not your bag. I say, sorry, I'm really sorry. I said, no, that's okay. But that person introduces themselves to you and says that I'm the CEO of this company and so on. And then you exchange cards. Done imagining? Scene three. Now tell me, how many of you imagined a lesbian or a gay couple in the first scene? No one, right? How many of you imagined a woman pilot in the second scene? Okay, so two of you. And how many of you imagined a transgender CEO in the third scene? So it's thus proven with evidence that each of us have a bias. And each of us had to admit that we have a bias. And this is the crux of marketing. Marketing is nothing but playing to your biases. A marketer tries to identify what is the bias that is there in the target group. And every ad that you see, everything that you see, it is about, um, you know, um, it is about playing to that bias. So I'll give you two examples. I'll give you one example. Okay. So imagine you would have seen this ad that there is the ad of a mosquito repellent, right? Or some kind of people in India or would probably know this better, that we see this mosquito repellent ads, right? Of good night and Mortein and this and that. So these mosquito repellent ads, there are two types you'll see. One type where the baby is sleeping very peacefully, and it says that if you buy the mosquito repellent, then your baby will also sleep peacefully. And the other type where the baby is sitting and the mosquito is biting and the baby is crying, and it says if you don't buy this, then your baby won't sleep, right? So the first one has a positive stroke to it, says that if you buy, your baby sleeps nicely, and if this other one has a negative stroke, right? So the same product, same target group, yet the messaging is very different because they try to appeal to the whatever the, in fact, you will see this, that in the TV, they will show the ad where the baby is probably sleeping and having a nice time. In the newspaper, they'll give the ad of the baby crying because the mosquito is biting. That is depending on who is reading what. So this is the mind mechanics that we use in marketing. So whatever we do in marketing, or behind all the posters, jazz, celebrities, nice punchlines, ads that you can't forget, ads you can't miss, men will be men kind of ad that we see, right? And we Imperial Blue ads, right? We all love them. Or people in India would know the Amul ads, right? All of those play on your mind mechanics. And today we will be uncovering 5 of them. So, with this perspective set, I'm going to get started with the meeting formally, and then, in periodic intervals, I would be coming back and I'll present one slide so that it's not a long monologue. So, let me first set set the expectation in terms of what we're going to do in the next couple of hours. So, we are going to have 3 sections. The first section is the prepared speech section, where we have 2 prepared speakers who are going to come and give speeches which they have prepared, and they will be evaluated. And the second section is the impromptu section, where we have got a table topic master who will be giving out table topics, which you will have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. These are extemporaneous topics, so you have to speak impromptu when the topic is given. Guests can also participate in this, but again, it's the discretion of the table topic master who he would want to invite to speak. So around 5 to 6 speakers, sometimes 7 to 8 speakers max we have for this particular section. In the third section, we have got the evaluation section, where we have got a general evaluator and a team and his team who will come and evaluate the entire meeting. And today, as probably you would have heard in the networking session when Nancy was driving it, someone that we have is one of my very favorite Toastmasters, because he is a very, very passionate and dedicated Toastmaster. People who are active in the various WhatsApp group, you will see, he's literally attending meeting throughout the day. I don't know how does he find so much of, energy to attend so many Toastmaster meeting, and he always does a very significant value addition. He has been one of the blessings of this fraternity, particularly in COVID days, because he has always been the man that I knew that I could reach out to and I would never get a no from. So I have the pleasure of introducing our general evaluator for today, distinguished Toastmaster Umar Farooq Awan. DTM Umar is an internal auditor by profession and a passionate Toastmaster from Chakwal, Pakistan. He is now living in Saudi Arabia for the last 12 years. A Toastmaster for more than 6 years, he currently leads Sand Dunes Toastmasters Club as the president and has served in multiple district roles. He is a district finalist in table topics and evaluation speech contest and the division first runner-up in the international speech contest. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Omar Farooq, for explaining your role and introducing your team, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dede Saurav, for the introduction, and I'm humbled. Welcome, everyone. And today, as a general orator, listening is a very important role. And this is one of the blessings of the Toastmaster that I have come to realize, that listening and hearing can be different. When we hear listening, timer role, grammarian role, each and every one, you have to be very focused and be conscious of what you are throughout the meeting, what is happening. So, as a general evaluator, I'll be evaluating entire meeting from start till finish. Each and every role player, even the speech evaluators as well. I'll be helped with my team of, I normally call tag, but here will be the timer, language evaluator, and the listening master. So first I will be asking Toastmaster Abhinav. Time is money. So let's see how much we are spending this money throughout the meeting. So timer, Toastmaster Abhinav, can you introduce your role?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Omar, for introducing me. Yeah, good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I would be timer for your day. I would like to begin this with a quote. Great speakers not only speak well, they also speak on time. So, hence, to help you with this, I would be helping you to stay within your allotted time. To guide you through the meeting, I will be using 3 cards. First would be green card. The green card is the card that that helps you that you have reached the minimum time. The yellow card would be that you would be approaching the end, and the red card would be that you have already crossed the time that was allotted to you. Yeah, so the speech segments or for the time that are given for each one is table topics green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, red at 2 minutes. For prepared speeches, green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. For evaluation, green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes. Each is having a grace period of 30 seconds. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters Umar Farooq.
Wonderful detailed explanation by Toastmaster Abhinav. Let's move on to our English teacher of the day. And she will be checking our English in detail. What are the things we have done good or not? So please help me welcome Toastmaster Sahana, our language evaluator of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator Omar. So, folks, as your grammarian, aka the language master today, my role is to help you all become mindful of how we use the language. After all, the mind is a powerful machine, and words are some of its most influential tools, right? So, in line with our theme, mind mechanics, I've chosen the word of the day to be discern. Discern, a verb, which means to perceive, recognize, or distinguish something clearly. So, an example usage could be when we pause before reacting, we can better discern whether it's bias or reality influencing our thoughts. Another simple usage, um, it took me a moment to discern the real message behind her words. All right. So throughout the meeting, I encourage you all to use this word, be it whether you're delivering a prepared speech or offering an evaluation or participating in the table topics. Every correct usage or every correct word of the day usage will earn you a special mention when I come back with a report by the end of the meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster DTM Umar Farooq.
Wonderful way to discern your role in the meeting, Toastmaster Sahana. And let's move on to another role. It's one of my favorite roles as well. In our club, we have it as well, the listening master. Today, the listening master is Toastmaster. She will be checking whether we are listening. She'll be listening to our listening, checking the listening. Okay. So, Toastmaster Malati, can you introduce your role, our listening master?
Yeah, thank you, gentle evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am the listener of the day. I'll be listening to closely to everything said during the meeting, and will come up with short questions to test our listening skills at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Wonderful. So let's see, focus on the entire meeting. And with this, I'd like to hand over the virtual lectern back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Omar, and thank you to your team, the TEL team. Okay, before we start with the prepare speech section, let me introduce the first bias that we're going to talk about today. How many of you have heard of the red car effect? Have you heard of the red card effect? Okay. Okay, so for the benefit of those, most of you did not. So I'll just explain to you what this happens is. Has it ever happened that you planned to buy a red car, or you aspired to buy a red car, or a black car, or a blue car, whichever car, or maybe a particular brand of car? Say, for example, you wanted to buy a an MG, or you wanted to buy a Fiat or something like that, right? And suddenly you started noticing a lot of that brand of car around you, that same color car or the same product or the same make, or you wanted to buy a particular dress, right? Um, and you could not buy it. Maybe you ran out of funds, or maybe the dress got over and you did not have the right size or something like that. And suddenly you see that dress everywhere around you, right? Or you want to go to a place, right? Say you want to go to Japan, or you want to go to Korea, you want to go to Thailand, and you're not able to go because your boss is not giving you leave, or the flight tickets are very expensive, or family commitments are holding you back, or whatever one of the n number of reasons. And Suddenly you see articles popping up on Thailand, or pictures. Your friend goes to Japan all of a sudden, and then you suddenly someone gives you a book on which on Japanese cuisine, right? Does it happen? So why does it happen? It is not magic. It's not a chance. So typically what happens is, just guess a number, hazard a guess. How many signals does your brain pick up in a day? How many signals? Give me a
Maybe
number. Give me a number. Sorry?
maybe above 60,000 or maybe more.
Okay, 60,000. Okay. Anyone else wants to go higher, lower? Come on, hazard a guess. More than 500,000? Okay. So, typically that number is close to around 6 to 8 million. 6 to 8 million in a day is the number of stimulus that we receive and we send out. Like, for example, Umar did like this. That's one stimulus, right? Then he smiled. Now he removed the hand. That's another stimulus. So Chaitra did like this. That's the stimulus. Shasana did like this. That's the stimulus. Videsh decided not to do anything because I'm picking up every signal. So that's a stimulus, right? So every time we do something, there's a stimulus that's being transmitted. Now, will you be able to remember at the end of the day, if I ask you, who amongst all of these people did like this? You can't, because your brain does not think it's very important for you to remember that. So it does not tag it with a very high value. It gives a very low value. Says that this is not an important signal, discard it. This is not an important signal, discard it. But if you listen to a speech which really touches you, will you remember that? Yes, because the brain tells you this is a good one. Pick this up, retain this, keep this with you, right? So your brain basically, there is a way to command your brain to do certain things, remember certain things more, remember certain things longer, right? And that is what is called the value tagging. So based on that, there was this phenomena which was called the Bader-Meinhof effect, right? The Bader-Meinhof effect is basically about that, where your brain is told that you have to focus on certain signals and give them more importance than other signals. And that is exactly what you see is used for you to for convert a purchase. Like, for example, you Google something, you Google, say, for example, you're Googling about Snickers, right? And you suddenly see a Google ad on Snickers. And then Google Feed sends you a brand article which mentions Nike. And then, you suddenly spot something about Snickers in some conversation, some, podcast that comes your way on Instagram. Then you notice a billboard ad on by Nike. Then you receive a promotional offer from Nike. Then a brand appears in an online search. When you're going to Google and you see, on the side, you see the sponsored ads, you see a Nike ad there. And then you see an online review of Nike. So what happens is, when so much of reinforcement of Nike happens, right, you will invariably end up probably doing that online purchase of Nike on Amazon. So you are attacked from all sides, right? So it's not like Nike just sending you a TV ad. Nike basically attacks you from all sides to bring in that Bader-Meinhof effect, and it tags the value of a Nike shoe so high that you feel that your life is meaningless, purposeless, and useless if you don't have a Nike, right? So you make it your life's mission to buy a Nike. What happens after that is the next phenomenon. I'll come to that. So this is how we are going to continue discussing every phenomena. We are going to understand the phenomena and see how marketeers use that to fool you and make you buy more. So everything that you see around you, the Christmas, Valentine's Day, right? So remember, all of these things are created by marketeers just to ensure that they get what is there with you, which is your money. With this, we are going to move on to the first section of our meeting today, which is the prepare speech section. And the first speaker for today is Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Paduka Kannan. I can see Paduka in the meeting. Paduka, just nod your head so that we know that you're also mentally present. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so we have Paduka in spirit and in person. And Paduka is going to evaluate Toastmaster Renu Kaushal, who is attempting the project Writing a speech with purpose. This is a second project in the first level of her second path, which is persuasive influence. Toastmaster Renu Kaushal is a certified soft skills and posh trainer and an aspiring image consultant. She's a Triple Crown winner and a path breaker. Renu is deeply passionate about connecting with people, understanding their stories, and beyond her professional work, she enjoys cooking and gardening. These are the activities that help us stay centered. And may I say that Renu is probably one of the most dedicated VP educations that we have had at the Gabbys. Always on top of the game, always ensuring that she is giving her 200% to ensure that we can give her 100% in our Toastmasters journey. Toastmaster Renu Kaushal, a nest of hope. A nest of hope, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. Over to you.
Last week, a sparrow looked straight into my eyes. She tilted her tiny little head and asked, I swear she asked, "Excuse me, where am I going to live?" I froze because what she was asking for, like, not a 2 BHK flat with a modular kitchen or a balcony or a clubhouse. She was right in asking for a tiny little space to build her own nest. And I, a human who owns 25 square feet of flooring, couldn't answer that creatures. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Yes, you are right in guessing. That was a narration from my nightmare. Remember those days when the morning started with birds chirping? And now how it is? It's mobiles ringing, traffic noise, pressure cookers singing in the kitchen. The birds, they seem to be nowhere. Many of them have already vanished. It's not because they have traveled abroad or they have moved cities. Rather, their homes have been taken away. We have cut the trees. We have polished each and every wall. We have sealed every crack. Great for the architecture, but believe me, terrible for the birds. Think about it, Toastmasters. These creatures, they need just 4 inch of a space of your real estate. These tiny creatures, they are much like us, the middle class families. They hustle, they multitask, they work around the day, they never get tired, they raise loud children, yet they never complain. But the moment their home is taken away, their entire world collapses. Doesn't that sound similar? Yes, if that had happened to a human, he would have shouted, he would have protested, he would have made noise on the social media or on the news channels. But these birds, they suffer silently, helplessly. Think about it. Why am I talking about these birds all of a sudden today? Around, I would say, 1.5 years back, we moved into our new flat. We installed metal grills in the balconies, in all our balconies. Why? Because we didn't want the pigeons to invade our space. And we should be like, as you say, we were succeeded in our aim in keeping the pigeons away. But one day, what I noticed, a bird, Mena, a sparrow, She was trying to squeeze into a tiny gap between the wall and the metal grill. She fluttered, she slipped, she turned around and came back, and she did it multiple times, as if she was urging me to please give me some space. My birds are coming. My little tiny children are coming. That masters hit me like an emotional punch. I thought to myself, humans, we can build skyscrapers. Surely we can install a bird nest in our homes. Those bird nests will provide these birds with a living chance, fighting chance. A bird nest, a small wooden bird nest, it would not cost you more than your weekend pizza or a cup of cappuccino. But for these birds, it's like a safe place. Protection for their eggs from predators, giving their chicks a chance to survive. And maybe sometime in future, it will restore the balance of the nature. You may ask me, what is there in for me? It's all there for the birds we are talking about. I would ask you to
என்ன வந்து அதோட இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்
discern
அதுல
and
இருந்து
think. Does the silence in the skies, does that silence in our balconies is more important, or the life that these birds bring into our homes is more important? Today, I would urge all of you to join me in my mission of bringing a nest of hope to home and be the real estate owner that these birds they desperately need. Sponsor one nest, maybe 5 nests if you can. If you are really encouraged, so maybe why not build a colony? Why? Because when a bird finds a safe space to rest, then your own world gets transformed. It becomes 1% more kinder, 1% more softer, and 100% more alive. When one day your own child sees an egg hatch in that nest, probably he will become more compassionate, empathetic, and learn the social responsibility of existence. That is how the ecosystems will heal, not by big speeches, but by small acts of kindness. Once again, I would ask you to provide these birds, these creatures, their wings, a safe space to rest and bring back these birds to home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Renu. I think that's a very, very powerful speech. During COVID, we were all reminded the importance of coexistence with nature. By the way, there's some interesting conversation that's going on in the chat, right? Where I would urge you to also go through that. I mean, when Noor is a part of a meeting, generally we get to discuss a lot in terms of the topic, which goes much beyond the what the topic is about, and which is good for our own understanding of the subject. To add to that, having a conversation, I'm just putting one word here. So, biases are also used for good reasons. So, like, for example, what we had just now, the speech. So, what Renu is appealing to is called the anthropomorphism bias. Anthropomorphism bias is nothing but associating human emotions to animals. Like, for example, when you are hitting a dog with a stick, and you say, imagine someone doing that to you, right? Why would you imagine someone treating you like a dog? But the appeal is that if you are treating it like that way, if you're thinking like that, then you'll be more empathetic towards other living creatures, and that's what Renu did just now. She's appealing to our anthropomorphism bias. So when you are listening to the speeches and other things, I would urge you to also try to understand which bias is the speaker appealing to, which is what making the speech appealing, right? So next is Chitrangana. As we can see, she has already taken the stage. So Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh will be evaluated by Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal. Yes, there she is, Gauri. Gauri, nod your head to let me know that you're present. Yeah, so yeah, that's Gauri. She's present in spirit and in person. And Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh is attempting the project Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. Here, she is attempting the third project of her first level from the path team collaboration. Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh is an 11-year corporate champ. Is an 11-year corporate champion, passionate traveler, dance enthusiast, and she is now adding mob and impeccable communicator to her resume, mastering the ultimate juggling act. Can't agree more. Having lost to her in one of the contests at the club level. So Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh is our club champion in table topics. Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh, the pricey crunchy boarding pass. The pricey crunchy boarding pass, Toastmaster Chitrangana Singh. Over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Bagwati. Got the reference? In the Hindi movie Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Bagwati was a nickname given to an outrageously expensive bag. What is the most luxurious thing or experience you have bought or done? While you ponder that, I'll share mine through a story. Last wedding season, I flew from Bangalore to New Delhi. My husband dropped me at the airport for an 11 a.m. flight. Now, here's how the conversation unfolded between us at the departure gate. Chitra, this is your first solo travel since our marriage. You won't have me as your timer, alarm, or reminder. Mom once said you forgot your boarding pass inside a book at the airport bookstore and realized it only at the gate. We should be careful, right? Also, skip the lounge. Skip the lounge. Have something in the flight if you are hungry. Manage your time well. Honey, as much as I love my mom, she does talk preposterous sometimes. You truly believe I will be that crazy to repeat the act? Rest assured. I'll sweep into the lounge, see something to go, like a mission on borrowed time, and make a straight dash towards the gate before the final call even echoes. Thanks for dropping me, by the way. Cabs and buses suck. I appreciate the care. Yeah. Thanks for throwing an alarm clock on my face till I wake up. Thanks for giving me silent treatment for a week when I suggested you take a cab. And thanks for threatening to puncture the car tire if I don't drive you to airport today. Things you do for love. Goodbye. Now picturize me at the airport with my chain of thoughts. Baggage drop queue. That is such a long queue at the baggage drop. The lady in front of me has got quite a bag. What will I have in the lounge today? Croissant and coffee. Security queue. Power banks are prohibited in the cabin luggage or check-in luggage. Never mind. I already had my luggages through the scan. What will I have in the lounge today? Poha and idlis. Lounge entrance. The guy in front of me just had his card declined. Now I'll get to flaunt my HDFC Diners credit card. What will I have in the lounge today? Yes, fresh, hot, crispy dosa from the live counter. Thin, shiny, melting in the mouth, true morsel of heaven. One alone shall suffice. A humble yet triumphant bite of bliss. Fast forward to 1 hour at the airport. I do a video call with my husband. Reached Delhi already? Actually, I'm still at the Bangalore airport. I did reach the boarding gate on time, but they said waving from a different floor towards the gate does not count as reaching. I will be catching a different flight now to Delhi, which is at 2. How many dosas did you have? You still have got few crumbs stuck right here, by the way. I am deeply heartbroken. What do you mean? No asking about what's going on, how am I doing? What do you intend to imply? How many dosas did I have? 2. At least I saved 500 bucks on the food you suggested to have in the flight, which is so even Sherlock Holmes said you have got a wife who's no reckless squanderer of fortunes. Fine, fine, you saved 500. How much did you pay for the next flight, madam? You remember it's my turn now. All alone would be awesome. So, could you decipher what was my Bhagavati through the story? It was this crunchy pair of dosa which costed me the budget of my rent. Yet, despite the setback of a missed flight, I remember it as a true moment of indulgence. Sometimes, when plans go awry, tiniest moments of comfort and joy became our most treasured experiences. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chitrangana, for your dosa story. Absolutely loved it. Thank you. You always bring a lot of observational and natural humor to your speeches, which I so love it. So before we go on to the break, let me just talk about one more mind mechanics, and how do we use it on a more effect like that. So you remember that we bought the Nike shoe finally because Nike attacked us from all the sides. Then what happened? After you bought the Nike shoe, what happens after that? Once you buy the Nike shoe,
Sunk cost fallacy, like you will regret it.
that is one that, oh my God, I spent 10,000 rupees buying a pair of
Yes.
this, right? And
Oh, yeah. We feel it is overrated compared to what
Or
we
you
have
we'll come to that
value.
in a while. But before even that, right? Once you got a new pair of shoes, the first thing that happens to you is
You will
you
wear it.
suddenly feel you need a nice pair of socks with it, right? Not only that, when you're wearing wearing the Nike shoes, you feel like, my tracks, they just don't go with the shoe. Oh my God. I mean, these tracks are like some $1,000 and this shoes like $10,000. Yuck. No, I want something nice. And when you're jogging, suddenly you feel like the zipper that girl has, it's so nicer than mine, that kind of, I mean, imagine my green shoes and the green zipper. That would be so cool, right? And then suddenly you notice that the Apple Watch strap, if they were also green, that would go so well with that Nike shoes, right? And then the cap, right? You need to also change that as well because that's not really going with that. Nike cap, that would be really Nike here, Nike there, right? That's like so nice. Let's do it, right? And that's how you keep on complementing your purchase, right? And that is what is called upselling or cross selling, is entirely about that. So once you have sold a product, you will see it does not stop there. Once you buy something from Amazon, it does not stop there. You buy a pair of trousers, they will send you ad for a belt. You buy the belt, they'll send you ad for a socks. Then you buy a socks, they'll send you for shoes. And this goes on and on and on and on till the time you're down to your last penny. So what effect is that is what we will understand. So this is the effect that is used by marketeers for this. Anyone would want to try to pronounce this? It is not actually Diderot. It is Dudaro effect, right? It's called the Dudaro effect. Dudaro effect is basically when one purchase often leads to more, and we try to find harmony in our positions, right? So one purchase will lead to the next purchase, then the next purchase. It is used a lot by even people who are selling furnitures, furnishings. You buy a sofa and then they will sell you the curtains, then the curtains, then the rug, then the rug, then the table, then the table, then the dining table, then the dining table, then the TV, and like this. Before you realize, you've got a big fat credit card bill waiting for you. And waiting for us right now is a 5 minutes break. We'll come back at after 5 minutes. See you on the other side of the break. Nancy, do we have time for a break, or should we are we behind agenda? Timer, can you please confirm? Are we behind agenda? Then we'll continue. Okay, no response. So we'll continue. Okay. So we'll move on to the next section, which is the table topic section. And for the table topic section, then we have right now the table topic master. Again, a very fun loving person, one of our very enthusiastic Toastmasters of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Ankur Vishwakarma. So, Toastmaster Ankur Vishwakarma is an enthusiastic software engineer who merges his passion for technology with a desire to learn, frequently seeking out new locations to read and expand his knowledge. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankur, for the table topic section.
Thank you, DDM Saurabh. Today's theme is mind mechanics, and that reminds of us of that our mind is always working, sometimes helping us discern, sometimes confusing us, and sometimes surprising us. And table topics is the perfect place to experience that in real time. My role today is to challenge your thinking, spark quick creativity, and help you discover what your mind comes up when it has only a few seconds to prepare. The format would be simple. I would call a speaker. You can volunteer if you want to participate. You'll have 1 to 2 minutes to share whatever your mind creates, a story, an opinion, or even a spontaneous insight. There are no right or wrong answers. With that, I would like to invite the volunteers if folks can raise their hands. I see Toastmaster Bernali's hand raised. I hope that I pronounced your name correctly. And
correct.
yeah, okay. So your topic is what just DTM Saurabh talked about. What is the most useless thing you bought just because you were excited at the moment? What is the most useless thing you bought just because you were excited in the moment?
Okay, so though it's very contradictory because I always, think about the money which I'm spending and what I'm buying. So this is what I have a lot of contradiction with my husband, and I'll, point it out towards my husband because he keeps on buying useless stuff for himself as well as for me. So the most useless thing which he bought yesterday is the packet full of moisturizing cream, which is like a uh, the taste or the testing cream kind of the packet, and that particular packet has some 90 varieties as per the skin. So I was just asking him yesterday that what has made you to buy this particular packet, which is a testing, and do you think I'm going to test those creams in my face just to see whether it is, making an effect or it is actually soothing me? So he said, no problem, I will do the testing part, and then if it suits me, then you can take it. So this is what I feel. My husbands always do the same thing with varied number of things. It is not about only the cream. He goes with the shampoo, he goes with his own stuff. He sometimes is so much try to please me that he sometimes go buying stuffs for me, like t-shirt which is probably too large for me or too small for me. So this is all about my family people. So that's it.
Lovely. What a lovely attempt blaming it on the husband. And I hope we all have the wisdom as Toastmaster Barnali and be as fun loving and experiments loving like her husband. Thanks for your attempt, Toastmaster Barnali. Now I would like to invite our second toast table topic speaker who would like to go next. I see Joke Master Chatra's hand raised, but she already had a role. I'll just hold on, uh, Toastmaster Chatra. I'll just wait if someone else wants to participate. Can we get more volunteers, please? Or I would have to pick up randomly.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go with Joke Master Chatra while others gather their spirits. Uh, Toastmaster Chatra, your topic is if you could download a new skill directly into your brain, like the Matrix movie, what it would it be? If you could download a new skill directly into your brain, like the Matrix movie, what would it be?
Thank you for the topic, Toastmaster Ankur. If I have to download a skill directly into my brain, I discern that I do not have the capacity to remember names. There have been many a times that I converse with many, I recognize them, but I've forgotten their name. There have been certain times where I am in conversation with them. They have introduced themselves, and I confidently gave my hand saying, "Hi, this is Chaitra. May I know what's your name?" And they tell me their name, and I'll be like, "Wow, that's a very beautiful name," because at that moment I genuinely felt it to be really good. And then while I have the conversation with them, I realize that I've already forgotten the name, and I land up looking here and there. And the most of the time, what I tend to do is I manage directly facing them. When they're talking in a group, I try to see them and say, "Oh, is it? Nice, nice, nice. Very sweet. Oh, very sweet of you." Or I try using words like, "Oh, folks, guys, dude, bro," something like that. So I wish I could download that into my head so I can remember names, because imagine I'm a lawyer by profession and forgetting names has worked out very badly for me, because there have been situations where I have to go to the court hall earlier and then speak for a particular client. While I'm speaking for a particular client, I would have forgotten the name of that particular client, but everything else about that particular person. Then, thank God that they brought about another way to, address the person as either petitioner or respondent or complainant. So I say respectfully that way. Thank you.
Very, very important skill that I have. I agree that I also miss. Sometimes I too am in middle of some interesting conversations and my conscious mind is working very hard to answer their questions or ask good questions. And suddenly it has to remember, oh, Where did we start? What was the name? So yeah, I think most of us struggle, and the folks who have the capability to remember the names, they have a really good skill. I'll agree too. And with that, I would like to invite the next volunteer for our third table topic. Also, can someone please help in spotlighting? I'm helping with two rules right now. So, uh, if any of the co-hosts can help. Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Any volunteers, or do we pick folks randomly? Let me go to the multi-speaker view. Who isn't without any role?
Noor is there. Jaya is there.
Yes. Okay. Let's go with Toastmaster Noor. Toastmaster Noor, are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Perfect. What's a moment when your brain played a trick on you and made you misjudge a situation? What's a moment when your brain played a trick on you and made you misjudge a situation?
Now, this is very obvious for me. When I saw my wife for the very first time, my brain played a trick on me. I didn't realize it until very long years later that this is going to be a trap. Yeah. So that is when it played a trick on me. But jokes aside, recently I was in a client meeting, right? And this very posh guy, he comes with a well-dressed suit. He's wearing a three-piece suit, and he's coming. He's very. His presence is very magnetic, right? And he comes and he sits at the very center chair in the boardroom, and we are having the serious discussion. The CEO and IT manager and other people. But this guy comes in and no one says a word. He comes in, he sits at the center table. Now I'm thinking this is a big shot guy, probably the chairman of the board or so. And suddenly he speaks, right? And to my great surprise, he speaks in very absolutely, I could say that I didn't expect him to speak that way. Like my brain played a trick on me based on the first impressions that he is going to speak extraordinary English or he's going. And he spoke very grammatically incorrect English. I was like shocked. Okay, who is this guy? Right. Then the CEO of the hospital, he rose up and he said, "This is the chairman of the board," as I rightly imagined. Right. So sometimes what happens is our brains tend to have certain impressions about certain people, certain aspects of living, and we are expecting that kind of a behavior. And to our great surprise, if it is not meeting our expectations, we are somehow disappointed, right? So this is where my brain played a trick on me, expecting a very professional response where when he opened his mouth, they say there is a saying, no, uh, you will know the person as soon as they speak, right? They might look awesome, they might look great, they might be amazing, whatever is our perception about them. The moment they start speaking, you will know who they are, right? So that is what happened. And circling back to my wife, she still does not fail to surprise me, even now. Back to you.
Toastmaster Noor always have his partner jokes ready. I think she mostly is beside him. And what a lovely take. That's why they say never judge a book by a cover or by the first few pages. With that, I would like to move on to the next speaker. Who would be somebody raising hands, or we will pick them randomly? Yeah. Sorry, Toastmaster Chitrangna, you just had a role, so I would just park you for a moment. If we don't get anybody, we'll go
You
with
can take
you.
Viresh. Viresh can be
Viresh,
taken.
Viresh, yeah,
Okay.
Viresh Biram.
Okay. Toastmaster Viresh, uh, can the Zoom moderator please highlight? Yeah, thank you. Toastmaster Viresh,
Yes.
let me find a topic for you. If your mind had a user manual, what would be the first warning label on it? If your mind had a user manual, what would be the first warning label on it?
It's a very interesting question. Okay. So yeah, I think pretty sure the warning would be this person thinks too logically. And typically ignores the more emotional aspects of conversations. So I think it's my default way my brain works. Right? Somebody's talking something, I'm just like thinking about like super logically. I'm taking their words literally and just like analyzing it rather than just listening to them. So I think that would be the main warning. The places I really get into trouble is definitely conversations with my wife, like the number one. And I think the second place I get in trouble is conversations with my mom, right? So yeah, I think that's my answer to the question.
Toastmaster Viresh, you have little more time if you want to continue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I know, like I'm going blank on the rest of the thing. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah.
Sorry.
Lovely. So yeah, I think those are two most emotional people around you, and logic should be kept in the box while talking to them. I'll agree. And with the experience of conversations with my mom, of course. So yeah. Next we have Toastmaster Jaya. And Toastmaster Jaya, your topic. Can the Zoom moderator please highlight it? Okay, sure. Toastmaster Jaya, if you can turn on your video, it would be good. But otherwise, we'll continue.
A very good morning. I'm not in a situation to, so
Okay, no
please
worries.
excuse me.
Yes. Your topic, Toastmaster Jaya, is if you could read the mind of one person in this room for 60 seconds, who would it be and why? If you could read the mind of one person in this room for 60 seconds, who would it be and why?
A very good morning to Toastmaster and dear guests. Thank you for this lovely question. If I could read a mind in this room, well, I think it would be Toastmaster Omar. I would like to read his mind, like how he comes up with a very unique kind of questions from simple to hard questions, and very interesting question. Yes, definitely, I would like to read his mind, you to discern his mind. What is his technique in creating such a question? So, yeah, uh, this is my view. If I wanted to discern in readings Uma's mind in this room. Over to you.
Great. Reading the mind of the G who holds all the nitty-gritties of the meeting. With that, we will have space for just one more topic. Who would be the last table topic speaker? Any volunteers? Or I would call Toastmaster Rahul to attempt.
Bernal is
Toastmaster.
also there. Bernal.
Here is the first speaker.
Yeah,
Pranali
she
is
already
done.
attempted. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Toastmaster Rahul, you are there?
Hi, yeah, I'm there.
Would you be fine taking the topic?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Tell us about a moment when you followed your intuition and it was completely right. Tell us about a moment when you followed your intuition and it was completely right.
Okay, there was a time when I was very much confused about which college I had to take, um, and which stream I had to take, and I was talking to couple of friends. Everyone had their own suggestions, that you should go and take this. You can say, you can go for this pharma course, or you can do farm D or B farm. So I was pretty much confused because I had taken so many suggestions from everyone, and all of them seemed to be okay to me. But then I sat down by myself and thought about what I have to do, and I just followed my intuition and I took bachelor's of pharmacy. That that intuition drove me to this decision, but yeah, it was a nice decision as I learned a lot about the pharma industry and everything about pharma, and that also landed me to a good job. And now I think what I learned from this is that you should take advice from everyone, but at the end of the day, you should follow your intuition. You should follow your heart so that you are able to you are not having any regrets for your decision. Thanks.
Great. Sometimes we don't have enough knowledge, facts to take certain decisions, but indeed we do certain times take correct ones. And most of the times, the decisions that involve choosing a college, choosing a stream, etc., we aren't experienced enough to take them. But most of them turn out to be life, because life in general has a long term space to make our decisions right. With that, how the mind mechanics work out in general, I would like to hand over the stage back to the TMOD DTM Saurav Datta. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you, sorry, yeah, it's not on mute. I was on mute. Okay, so I will now move on to the next, mind mechanics before I hand over to the general evaluator. Where did we last stop? We bought Nike shoes and then we bought a lot of other Nike products, right? We bought a cap and a sock and all that, right? And then, Ajay, now what happens after you buy a Nike shoe, after you bought all of these things, right? So there's a huge joy when we buy the first Nike shoe, the first time, right? I mean, we just aspire for it, we want it, we want it, we want it, and then we have it. Then what happens? I'm not talking about buying the other products, but about the shoe. What happens? How does your emotion with the shoe change? Or how does the emotion with the car, your first car changed, your first flat changed, your first job changed, your first
You
girlfriend
start
changed?
noticing maybe others' shoes or something related stuff around you.
Right. Yeah. See, Noor has already posted the disclaimer. He knows where I'm going with this. Yeah. So, Noor, the thing is that you don't repeat it so often unless you're trying too hard to make us believe it's true, right? So, anyways, we are going to move ahead with this, but you understand where I'm going with this, right? We want that. We want that very badly. But once we get that, after some time, it feels like it's not that good, that other pair of shoe was better. That girl has a better shoe than mine. Oh my God, my car does not have a sunroof. I have got electric car, but then the hybrid model where you don't need to charge it, that's so cool, no? If I would have known that, I would have bought that. Why did I not wait for another 2 months, right? So this is another mind mechanic, and this is also what is used to make you feel that the product that you once loved is a product that you don't need anymore. So this is the cycle. This is called the hedonic treadmill or the hedonic adaptation, where you start with a desire, you strive to get the product, you obtain the product, you enjoy the product, you adapt that product, and then you start desiring more. So this is when you buy the bigger flat, you upgrade. You know the word upgrade? Upgrade your lifestyle, upgrade your car, upgrade your flat, right? And there's a always the secret wish of upgrade your partner, right? So this is something that is there because of that reason, that what you once wanted so badly is something you don't need anymore, right? And with this messaging, I would want to hand over the stage now to our general evaluator, who is going to take us through this rest of this meeting for the evaluation part. I'll be back towards the end with one or two more such mechanics and discuss, and if provided we have time. Back to you. Over to you, Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Umar Farooq.
Thank you. Today we are talking about a lot of mind mechanics, and one of the important skills of mind is to listen and not get distracted as well. So this is listening session, or the better listening part of the meeting, and I have a team of listeners that have listened to the entire meeting right as of now, and they'll be giving the feedback. So first of all, we have with us Toastmaster Paduka, that will be she will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Renu. Toastmaster Paduka, over to you.
So the real influence comes from strong story, narrative, and not from the forceful pressure, right? Rise and shine, Gabbies. Today, Toastmaster Renu has definitely given a very impressive attempt to convey her message or a speech, which is actually in tandem to her path, persuasive influence. So Toastmaster Renu, I would evaluate your speech based on your content and your delivery style. I'm going to be a little bit critical because this is your second part, isn't it? So what went well according to me is you're calm, composed, you're quite lucid in your in articulating your message, and you had very good hand gestures and a good placement of camera. So all those basic stuff went well actually. So kudos to that, right? So coming to your content, you started out well. In fact, quite a smaller instant, like articulating it to details, well done on that particular part. But as you proceeded to your speech, I felt somewhere I lost. So there was a lot of there's a story. I mean, there's some messaging in between and a story and some messaging. So I'm not able to find that structures or in your body. Like, what is your planning, content planning when you're articulating your message? So one thing what I felt it would have made better would be it would have helped better was maybe after the opening, right? You could have told your personal story, and then from your personal story, we could get what is the messaging that you wanted to say, right? And ending up with a strong punchline, right? So that might have worked. And also maybe since this is a persuasive speech, right? So another thing, maybe facts, maybe does facts would help because now this is all only from your perspective. If you bring out certain facts, let's say, do you know how many birds or some sort of a statistics, right? Might would have helped, right? And and one more very, very important point, I think, which would have made your delivery more impactful is voice modulation, right? When you say specifically, when you say, do you, if your homes are snatched away, right? So that given a little bit of more, maybe it would have added more impact, right? So, yeah, so with this, but however, having said all this, I feel you have done a very good job. It's a very good start, specifically choosing such a kind of a powerful topic for this particular path. And all the best for the rest of your parts. Yeah, over to you, Jamila.
Yes, wonderful. Good feedback given by Paduka. And let's move on to our second evaluator. And our second evaluator is Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal, and she will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Chitranga Singh. So over to you, Gauri.
Can we spotlight Chitrangna as well? Yeah.
Chitrangana, yes, always.
Chitrangna, I have a bad network. In case you cannot understand what I'm saying, just give me a thumbs down and I'll switch off my video. Okay, so Toastmaster Chitrangana, you have a knack of discerning observations purposefully and structuring it in a format that is garbed in humor. That is your strength, and we all know it now. I'm going to stick to the vocal variety aspect of your speech as requested by you. And let me begin by complimenting you on the different characters that you played when you played your husband and you played yourself. That difference was very prominent. You were more nasal and rhythmic when you were speaking as yourself, and you were more raspy when you were speaking as your husband. So that difference was very clearly visible. That was very nicely done. The second aspect was purposeful pausing. Now, that made your speech very clear. Everything was very easily understood. And as an audience, you had me leaning in because it created an anticipation. The third thing that was amazing about your speech was energy transference. And that is something so vital as a speaker when you convey the same energy as you are feeling to your audience. First, you took up a topic that was relatable, the conversation between husband and wife. Again, humor. It just made me relax. I was simply listening and only enjoying. Now, coming to the recommendations part of your speech, just one body language cue that I want to give you, because that came as the opening of your speech when you said in the Hindi movies and you gave us the Bhagwati reference. The gesture was this. You know how when we are narrating a story and we do something like that, so that was an off for me. It wasn't going with the humor of Bhagwati, is what I would say. Now my main recommendation to you is in terms of monotony. Whenever there is a rhythm, our brains kind of track off or back off. So when you can hear monotony in your voice, it's very important to interrupt it. Either drop the volume or change the pacing. Now you have a very rhythmic way of speaking, and let me state it with an example. When you said, what will I have in the lounge today? Fresh, crispy dosa. So the entire speech was very musical. How about this portion when you said, what do you mean, how many dosas? When you're telling your husband, you could have said, what do you mean, how many dosas? Two. So you see the rise in the volume and the drop in two. That would break the monotony and add more to the humor. That is my basic recommendation to you. Break the monotony of your voice and continue with your beautiful choice of words and humorous stories and keep entertaining us. Thank you.
Wonderful, good feedback also from Gauri. And let's move on to our functionaries, our tag team or tell team we'll call in Gabbys. First of all, we'll get the timer's discerning report. And our timer, Toastmaster Abhinav. Can
Yeah,
you?
thank you,
Yeah.
Master Umar.
Oh, before that, pardon, we have another evaluators as well. How I can forget distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar, our table topics evaluator. So, distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar, how much time will we be having for that as for the timer? How many speakers we had? 6?
Yeah, we had 6.
So 3 minutes plus 1. Okay. So at 3 minutes green, 3.5 yellow, and at 4 it will be red. So over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar, as our table topics evaluator.
Can you hear me? Am I loud enough?
Yes.
I'll I'll divide my evaluation into two parts. The first part is about the table topic master. The second is about the speakers. For the table topic master, I like the fact that he used today's theme and came with a number of challenging topics. She put the audience at ease by saying that there's no right or wrong answers. And I could see that everyone who took on the table topic was able to speak on it. Well done. One area which you missed out was explaining the timing sequence. So that's important, especially for those who are new or non-Toastmasters. So maybe you can look into that. The next thing is, in terms of the topic, quite a wide range, and all of them made us think. And speaking about the speakers, I'm just going to go on a general across the board. So it will not be an individual one. Basically, I felt that most of them, they could speak on the topic. However, there was a few things they could look at. Number one being the structure. For example, if you're given a topic, one structure you can use is prep, point, reason, example, and point. So if you're saying that my husband bought a certain product, then you got to link it with your main point. Your point is that sometimes we listen to the media and we buy the wrong things. And here, let me give you an example from my personal life. And then you can give the examples. Then you come back to the point again. Because if you keep on giving examples as well, then the fellow Toastmasters are not following you. They are going on a journey with you, but they do not know where you're going to have a stop. So you need to stop once in a while, pause a while, and say, okay, this is what I meant when I said making the wrong decisions, for example. Now, going on to another one where if your mind had a user manual, that was quite interesting. He's talking about his wife and all that, and that, those kind of things. It's quite interesting. Again, I felt that you need to link your examples with your topic. Then is very much aligned. Moving on to another person who had a wonderful topic on the whether your intention has made you make the wrong decision. Now, for this kind of a topic, you need to take the pendulum effect. That means you talk about the merits of listening to everyone's advice, and then the merits of listening to your own mind, your intuition. And then you come to a conclusion. He did come to a conclusion saying that it was his intuition that always works well for him, but he could have structured it better by putting them in two different pockets, two different buckets, saying that people give us a lot of advice because advice is free. And you can actually bring in some stories. I mean, there's a story of the grandfather and the grandfather and his grandson, and they are listening to different people because they were riding on a donkey. Eventually, all three of them will fall into the water. So you can say sometimes you listen to advice, you can lose your direction. So that's one way you can say. And some of them use their personal experiences, which is very good because then we are able to connect with your topic. I like the one about if you had chance to speak, choose one person and person chose our general evaluator. But you should go further. Why? I like his creativity. Yes. What is the creativity? The rest of us do not know. You got to explain it. He did this, he did that. Then we understand, okay, we'll be more interested to invite him to our clubs also, right? Yeah, I know you charge for that kind of service, but it's okay. In Toastmasters, we're not supposed to charge, right? Officially. Yeah. So that's one way. So, like I said, there's a prep and there's pendulum. And the third way is past, present, future. So you talk about decisions you made in the past based on intuition and they went wrong. Then later, maybe in the future, you realize some things. Okay, my parents know a lot of more about me, about the world, and whom I should marry. So maybe I should listen to them rather than just leap forward and make a mistake like some people do, right? So then you can bring that. So in the past, I was like this, present, I was like that, the future, I was like that. So in short, I found that everyone could handle the topics. The table topic master was good at choosing topics that actually challenge us. So there was a bit of a creativity that we could use. What I would like to see in all speakers is use a technique, past, present, future, the prep, or two different points of view, compare and contrast, and come to a conclusion. Then your table topic will be more powerful and impactful. Back to you, general evaluator.
Yes, wonderful, very detailed is evaluation of the table topic speakers. I know it can be challenging. So maybe evaluating a one speaker is can be difficult, but evaluating 6 or 7 is a great job done. Well done, distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar. Let's move on to the money part of it. The time is money. So let's see how much money we have spent today. Toastmaster Abhinav.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmasters Umar. So, these are the reports as per. Uh, Speaker 1, Renu took around 7 minutes 45 seconds. I think that marks for disqualification. Chitrangna took around 5 minutes 55 seconds. Barnali took, coming to table topic speakers, Barnali took 1 minute 44 seconds. Chaitra took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Noor took 2 minutes 36 seconds. Viresh was not able to meet the minimum time. He took around 59 seconds. I think that marks for disqualification. Jaya took around 1 minute for 14 seconds. Rahul took 2 minutes 14 seconds. Paduka took 3 minutes 1 second. Gauri took 3 minutes 4 seconds, and Brahma Kumar took 5 minutes 26 seconds. Yeah, thank you, Toastmasters.
Very,
Umar,
very
back to you.
fast and a quick timers report. He saved a lot of time to first Amida. And let's move on to our English teacher of the day. Our English teacher was listening very carefully. Now she'll be telling us what is the English teacher's report. Toastmaster Sahana, our language evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar. Am I audible now? Better? Is it louder?
Little better way.
All right. Uh, yes, so the purpose of giving the word of the day is to increase our vocabulary, and I think today not many of us
Language
actually
evaluator, you
use
got
the.
to speak a bit louder. I can't really hear you.
Maybe
Is it
your
better now?
speakers, your headphone issue, I think. Take off the headphone, maybe then my voice will be clear.
Is it
I
a
believe.
is it a Dell headphone?
Nah, it's a different
No, this is marketing, huh?
one. Okay, is it better now?
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
We can live with this. We can live with
We'll
this.
manage,
Just speak a
we'll
little
manage.
loudly here.
Okay, got it, got it. I just want to quickly share my screen with the results, so I won't take much time. All right, so the usage of word of the day was just by 2 people, and yes, coming to the certain noteworthy idioms and phrases that I've noted here, crux of marketing, a long monologue, extemporaneous topic. And I think we learned a lot of new words today with the topic mind mechanics. And yes, from the speakers, we had a very good rhetorical usage, rhetorical device usages, like a simile, like a 2 BHK, metaphor, a personification, pressure cookers singing from the kitchen. That was really good. And I saw a couple of power of three, calm, composed, lucid, and also by our DTM Brahmakumar, compare, contrast, and conclusion. So yes, that was a power of three. And by our evaluators and the speakers, personification, the alliteration metaphor, bite of bliss, and yes, a lot of superlative imagery, imagery like the tiniest moments of comfort and joy. And yes, a couple of other metaphors I've added here. And to Toastmaster Barnali, probably I would say when you're talking, one suggestion could be that you were trying to find the right word from your vocabulary. Maybe you seemed a little agitated, so you could avoid showing off that while you're talking. And to Toastmaster Chaitra, it's when you said land up looking here and there, land up, I mean, a better usage would be ended up looking here and there. So yes, and Toastmaster Noor mentioned about circling back to like a callback device. So I really like that. And yes, I think we learned a lot of good phrases today. Thanks for this opportunity. Yes, back to you, Toastmaster Omar, DM Omar.
Wonderful, wonderful, very detailed is evaluation of the language by Sahana. Now you are able to present your screen after your report. But see, that is also mind mechanics, like the maybe IT mechanics you can say. So, but wonderful, well job, well done. Now we'll move to our listening master. Huh? So, were we listening or not? She'll check that. Toastmaster Malati, over to you.
Thank you, gentle evaluator. Yeah. So I have come up with few questions based on our discussions today. So the first one is, what is the Didero effect that our team or DTM Sarvadata explained?
Buying continuously from the ecosystem like socks and all everything.
Yes, one new purchase leads to chain of other purchases, right?
It's a network.
So what is the table topic speaker Chaitra wants to download a new skill into her brain. What is that new skill that she wants to download into her brain?
Remembering names.
Thanks. And one of the table topic speakers used the word of a day today. Did anyone observe that? Jaya.
Jaya, yes.
Okay. And what is the course that our Toastmaster Rahul has taken based on his intuition?
Bachelor's in pharmacy.
Right. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderfully great interactive session, Tosma Malati. So now I'll be doing my feedback for the entire meeting. I believe we started on time and wonderful in that regard. Toastmaster Prasad, the Sergeant at Arms did wonderful job introducing the meeting and all, and going to the president and the presiding officer Toastmaster Nancy did wonderful as introducing the guests as well, maybe what the Toastmasters is and the proper the business session is, maybe making some announcement as well. So then we moved on to our educational session. Educational session divided into three parts as we know. Okay, better speaking, the like prepared speeches, better thinking the table topics, and the better listening or the evaluation segment. That was headed by Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saurav. Very engaging, and one of the important thing is that as a Toastmaster of the day, he involved the audience as well. Very participative kind of a thing. It was not like everybody was interested and focused, and what I can say, very pertinent theme that we can have for nowadays that we are having in the age of digital social media and all technology, AI and all those things. Search engine optimization, so many things are going on. How the marketing and how the mind works and all those things. The conscious and very focused advertising that is happening. So wonderful theme was selected and executed by Toastmaster of the day. So wonderful job done, Toastmaster Saurav, on that. Each and every role player did a wonderful job. They introduced the role very well. Toastmaster Sahana, the time Abhinav, and everyone, and also I would like to shout out to Toastmaster Table Topic Master, very creative, as distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar has said. Very interesting topics as well, and as he also noted that maybe you could have explained the timing mechanism for that purpose. Otherwise, job well done. Coming to the evaluators, Toastmaster Paduka. Toastmaster Paduka, you did really well because opening an evaluation is a very challenging thing. Okay, how you open an evaluation speech? So you opened it with a central premises, what the topic was all about, the speech was all about. Then you moved on to the positives and improvements. However, However, I would like you to focus on use the word maybe. Maybe you do this. Maybe you should do this. Avoid using that. In my opinion, I advise you to do this. Not you don't use the maybe. You are not sure yourself. It comes across like that. And I've noticed four times you use the word right. It means trying to check whether I'm correct or not. Right? Right? So avoid using those words in order to, okay, yeah, I'm confirming, okay, it's fine or not, or maybe, or sure. No. So have at the end of the day, evaluation is a feedback and opinion of yourself and what you felt about it, and speak with that conviction and firmness, and remember to conclude the speech. When you conclude an evaluation, you have to summarize what were the positives and improvement, and be uplifting in the tone, and give, okay, I loved your vocals and the storytelling, loved the idea. However, work on these things, and I'm sure you'll be a great speaker. So summarize what you are saying, recap it in your conclusion. So that a lot of times evaluators miss out. Second, the Gauri. Toastmaster Gauri, very technical, and you, what I loved it, what the speaker told you about focusing on the vocals, you focused on that throughout your evaluation, and you talked about it in positive light as well, in the improvement as well. However, I could have encouraged you to maybe start the evaluation with on a very like stronger note, and takes one of the better ways of opening an evaluation is take the central theme or the central message of the speech, or maybe central line, use it in a very creative way in the opening of the evaluation. Okay. Okay, what she was wanted to say. I always appreciate the maybe the tiny moments that we have. We should celebrate it. Take a central message, put it in your own, put a spin on it, and give it, and then move on to your positives and improvement points. Transition to them. Then, however, I would encourage you to also conclude. Conclusion, I think we rush it. Sometimes we don't have that much time to conclude it, but focus on concluding it really well as well, in a very strong uplifting way. Okay, because after the recommendations we have to change the tone in a positive board, like a optimistic way. Overall, excellent job done, each and everyone. I love the energy, the participation, and each and every role player did such amazing job. And I love the conversations that were happening in the chat as well. Distinguished Toastmaster Noor, and everybody was engaging and all. So we are having a parallel Toastmaster of the Day session in the chat. As a small TMOD session in the chat as well, going on in the parallel. So that's the fun part of it in the online meetings that you will not see happening in the physical meetings. So wonderful job done, each and everyone, and thanks for having me as a general evaluator. Loved every bit of it. With this, I'd like to hand over the virtual lecture back to our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Saurav.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Umar. And we will launch the polls. I would request one of the co-hosts to please launch the polls, as I will do the conclusion of the theme. So I had actually got two more mind mechanics, but I would refrain from talking about both. I'll just talk about one, the last one. And then I will share the presentation on chat, so you can just go through it, do your own research. So have you noticed one thing in Toastmaster, that we don't say anything negative? We always say good, nice things about people, right? So we don't say that the speech was bad. We say that this could have been better. You gave your best, but there was a room for improvement, right? Or we say that the evaluation was very effective, but it could have been more meaningful, right? So you're essentially saying that it was useless, but you don't say it's useless. You say that it was effective, but it could have been more useful, right? Or you say the speech really touched my heart, but I wanted a code message out of it, which basically says you wasted my time. But you don't say you wasted my time. And we do this in our relationships also. When your partner asks you, do I look fat? You say, no, no way. You look whatever, I still love you. So I still love you basically means that even if you look fat, I love you, right? So this is nothing but the same thing happens with your Nike. So when you call up the customer care after, say, the sole comes off, right? And you say, what the hell did you send me, huh? I spent 10,000 rupees for buying this. The sole has come off. What does the customer care executive say? What is the first response that comes from them? Any complaint you do to a customer care center, what is the first response you get from them? My phone is not working. What is the first response? You send me on this stupid trip. I went on a cruise and the ship does not sail. What's the first response you get from them?
I
Apology.
understand that things didn't go
Yeah,
well.
Thank you so much.
no, thank you so much. No, they say that I understand, and we're really sorry that you had to experience this, right? And then when Swiggy sends you broken eggs, what's the first response you get from them? Saying that that's not the way we want to service our customers, right? And they probably that's the 10th time that this has happened, right? So this is the effect for that also. So basically, it's kind of a toxic positivity, what we say, but branded nicely. So this is what it is called. Sorry, not this one. This is the other one which I will not be able to cover. This one, right? So the situation is that the manager has not invited you to the sprint planning meeting, and the thoughts that actually come to your thinking, you are made to think that these are flawed thoughts. These are actually the real thoughts. Probably one of this is the reason that my manager does not like me. He feels I'm incompetent. He's trying to insult me. He's seeking revenge against me, right? But when the manager actually comes to the floor, or when you confront your manager on this, or you complain to HR, the response that you will get is, "Oh no, he may have forgotten to add you. Have you considered that?" Probably that is the only reason that's not true, but that's what is sold to you. So when things go south, instead of the vicious reason or the real reason, what you are sold is a softer reason, right? So that way what happens is you don't lose the customer, because if you say the real reason, yes, the soul came up because we used a local gum, right? But that's not what they will say. They will say, "Oh my god, that's a very rare incident, we would definitely do our best to," and a long email will come. So the Hanlon's razor is mitigating the effect of a negative output or a negative outcome or a negative customer experience. And this is again that marketeers use a lot to minimize the damage. So that's what we say: when something has gone wrong, minimize the damage by using the Hanlon's razor. So that's my time, and that's my inputs on mind mechanics. In fact, the thought of mind mechanics came to my mind that we do all use mind mechanics thanks to one Toastmaster, past Toastmaster I admire a lot. He had told me once that sort of your superpower is that you know how to press the right buttons. So when he said that you know how to press the right buttons, I started thinking, what exactly did he mean? And then I understood that he was talking about so he was evaluating me, and then I realized that I kind of play with mind mechanics, probably subconsciously because of my marketing background. So that's how it happens, and this was more of a confession time. So, and I've already been pinged by the PO that wrap up now. So I do wrap up and hand over back to the presiding officer.
Well, for once, I thought Pio is having some time back to wrap up the session, but thanks to our Toastmaster of the Day, stories after stories, he keeps us engaged. So, can we have a round of applause for our Toastmaster of the Day and the entire team who made this show possible, who made this show so smooth, who ensured that we learned a lot with laughter, with fun, with whatever emotion we could carry on a Saturday morning and sometimes early morning for a few guests here. Well, it's time to hear it from our guests. I would like to leave the floor open for a quick feedback. How did you like it? Anyone who would like to go first? No, no, too
I
daunting.
think,
Okay, Viresh. Yes.
yeah, it was definitely very useful session. I think for me, the best part is the evals. I think it's a lot like I was like listening to the talks, and then I don't know if they're good or bad talks, right? Like I have no reference point, but I think the evals are set it apart from. I can go to YouTube and watch a bunch of motivational speeches or inspirational speeches and stuff like that, but you wouldn't know what's good, what's bad, like where people need to improve. So that definitely stood out for me.
Lovely. So you've got the pulse of Toastmasters. Toastmasters is about evaluations and mentoring. These are the two cornerstones of a Toastmaster meeting. You see these speakers coming forward here, taking up the stage and attempting a speech. So there's a lot of mentoring that has gone behind these prepared speeches. At the same time, after your performance, how did you perform and where can you improve upon? evaluations come into picture during the performance part. Post that, again, the speakers will go back and connect with their mentors to understand what went wrong, how could they improve better or further on their journey. So yes, that's the cornerstone of any Toastmasters meeting. And that's the reason it's been surviving and thriving from last 100 years. It's a 100-year-old legacy. So thank you so much for your feedback. DTM Umar.
Yes. Actually, I have already shared as a general evaluator, but overall, I love the energy of the Gabbys. And for me, one of the most important barometer of a club meeting done really well is the energy, the vibes that there, the aura. Each and every club has its own energy, and like you feel relaxed, comfortable, very engaging session. Each and everyone is warmly welcomed, and they are having fun and having that conversations that are going on, thought provoking. So from that point of view, Gabby has set the standard and a wonderfully job done. And the Toastmaster of the day, each and every role player did such a wonderful way. I will always, I am a big fan of being creative, and maybe in future the timer, the language masters, to think of different ways of being creative in your roles, how you can introduce the roles in a creative way. For example, I told the language evaluator as the English teacher, I'll be scrutinizing your like scoring marks and some be creative in how you deliver your reports and all that there to make it more exciting and more fun. And think outside the box and think as if there is no box at all. So there is no box, there is no limitation to the creativity. Keep improving, keep doing better, rising and shining every day. Over to you, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, TTM Umar. Well, as you said, rise and shine. That's quite a catchphrase for one of our Toastmasters, one of our members sitting here smiling on camera, Toastmaster Paduka. I think all of us relate rise and shine Gabbies to Paduka and Paduka to this phrase itself. That's the kind of brand she has built. But thank you so much for your feedback that you have shared. Yes, creativity has no bounds, no limits. And we keep on loving to thrive, improving upon our meetings, meeting by meeting. Thank you, Bernali, for your quick feedback. Anyone else who would like to share any feedback? One last call before I share the poll results. Any members or any guests? Quick one, 30-second one. Yes, Saurabh.
I just want to thank some of my very most favorite Toastmasters are here today. Distinguished Toastmaster Brahma Kumar, DTM Amar, and obviously, everyone knows my first love in Toastmaster, my crush, Noor Mohammed, right? So I have to say this. TTM Brahmakumar is the person who inspired us a lot from the initial days itself. He is the reason that if I am a DTM today, because when I saw he's a triple DTM, I said, what is a triple DTM? And that's how I got to know about DTM. Umar was not a DTM when we met, but he had the same amount of aura and respect in the Toastmasters fraternity. It probably has increased only with he being a DTM. So some very selfless leaders here. And Toastmaster Noor, he can just lighten up any of the meetings. So Noor, so praises is all that I can give. I'm a poor man, so no PayPals. Thank you. Back to you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that that was close to 30, 35 seconds. Thank you so much, DTM Saurav. Well, my bad. I started with reflections from these three gentlemen. Noor was not there yet. With these two gentlemen, I could have taken up reflections from Saurav at this point in time. So it should have been a preemptive action from my side. Coming to the poll results now, I already got the poll results with me. We'll start with the speaker evaluator polls. For speakers, we had no polls today because one of the speakers got out of time, got overtime. And that's the reason the other speaker automatically is the winner for today's meeting. Can I have our second speaker? Where is our second speaker? Okay, she is not here. Well, second speaker, our speaker was, I'm mixing up the names.
Angana.
Can somebody help me with the name here?
Chitrangana
Angana.
Singh.
Chitrangana Mit. I'm remembering Chaitra. I don't know why. Chitrangana Singh, our second speaker, is the best speaker for today's meeting. with a round of applause. Next, we had the evaluators. We had two evaluators, Toastmaster Paduka and Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal, with majority of votes going for one of the evaluators, someone who was struggling a little bit with the network issues. Toastmaster Gauri Agarwal got the best evaluator, the favorite evaluator for today's meeting. Congratulations, Toastmaster Gauri. Can I have her spotlighted on screen? If she is here. Okay, she's not here. She's here. Please help spotlight her. Next, we had auxiliary role takers. We had a timer, Toastmaster Abhinav. We had our language evaluator, Toastmaster Sahana, joining all the way from Del Sukti with Del headphones. Then we had listener, Toastmaster Malti, and joke master Chaitra, with the maximum votes going to our supporter for the meeting today, our language evaluator, Toastmaster Sahana. She becomes a favorite auxiliary role taker for today's meeting. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sahana. Next, we had main role takers, and for the main role takers, we had two of our Gabbys members and two external members, three DTMs in the list. Distinguished Toastmaster Saurav Datta as Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Umar Farooq as General Evaluator, DTM Ramakumar Balakrishnan as Table Topic Evaluator, and fighting for attention amongst all of these was our Table Topic Master, Ankur Vishwakarma. Out of all these four gentlemen, the best main role taker, the favorite main role taker, goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Saurav Datta. Congratulations on guiding us on mind mechanics to all of us, and that got you all the brownie points today. Last but not the least, we had TT speakers. Out of 6 speakers, 2 got disqualified on the basis of time. Out of those 6, we had 4 competing for attention, and what a beautiful chart here. It's almost distributed equally, and having this distribution in front of me, I can say 2 are the ones who are sharing the stage as favorite TT speakers for today's meeting, Toastmaster Barnali Devnath and Toastmaster Chaitra Lakshmi Narayan. Can we have a round of applause for both of them? Please spotlight all so that we can have a quick picture. Do we have Chaitra and Barnali? Barnali left. Chaitra is on camera now. Okay. Saurav, are you taking a picture? Everyone, please say cheese. Saurav, we are tired. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. With this, I call this meeting to adjourn, and we will meet on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. See you then. Until then, keep speaking, keep enjoying. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.